Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig finished the main show off by saying sack 'em.
We had a 25-minute segment at the start of the live show, 5 o'clock. We handed it out to LA, to our guys out there. Spent about 24 and a half minutes. Greg Berhalter at the US. I mean, it could have been 20 seconds each, 10 seconds each, round the guys. Should he be sacked? Yes. Are these players as good as what everybody's saying? No. Next.
The first question is about that. Craig, which is more appropriate, a 13-month review process to appoint a new coach or a 14-month process to appoint a new coach? Of course, after the World Cup...
Well, they paid a lot of money, apparently. They hired a firm.
Yes, of course. I forgot about the firm.
How much?
Well, millions. You know, just a cool, a million or two, you know. Well, I don't know how much they paid.
Whatever.
But they hired an outside firm to have a review.
Yes.
Right? Only in America. And and the review came back that the guy that was in the job and is out of the job should be back in the job. Now they're out of the Copa, they're having another review. These reviews, it's all corporate speak now, isn't it? We're going to have a corporate overview.
Review to see if the US are rubbish.
You know what gets me though, recently? And I know they've got one or two good younger players, but if I keep seeing on social media people, if somebody else says this is the greatest American
Golden
team,
generation.
Yeah, but the greatest American team ever assembled, I mean, I'm going to like self-combobulate.
Yes, I think.
Because there have been a lot of, I know we jest sometimes about the US, but trust me, I played against the US in the 90s in a couple of friendlies, and the US have also been a smidge away from a World Cup semi-final.
Yep.
They have had, at various times, some cracking players.
Yeah.
Cracking players. Way better, by the way, this is a recency bias, way better than most, if not all of these guys now.
Yeah.
But that is gladly forgotten in the recent era.
Dan, as a newly minted American, how disappointed were you in your new country's performance at the Copa? You didn't see last night's game?
But interesting enough, when you go places now and they say, where are you from? Do you go, I'm American?
I'm American. You don't sound
Or
it.
do you go, well, how have you know I'm a dual citizen?
You didn't watch the game, no?
What game?
The US-Uruguay game
No,
last
I didn't see it, no.
It was just comedy right from the start. The camera angle was completely wrong. So it was like up on the moon, basically.
I saw people
so
talking about
they had to move the camera halfway through. The referee just looked like he was just taking the mick. At one stage, he goes to show a yellow card and then plays an advantage in the middle of a free
what else
kick.
was it? The Copa we had at the early rounds of or earlier in the Copa America, did we have the VAR decided it was going to intervene?
Yeah, yes, when it wasn't allowed to.
When it wasn't allowed to intervene to change an offside or something, and then reverse the free kick.
It was just funny. It was just like.
And the stadium wasn't packed.
No, the stadium wasn't full. It was obviously Kansas
City.
Kansas Chiefs.
And then also and then we had the you guys were telling me the controversy at the end where there was people refusing to shake hands with referees.
Oh yeah, because Christian Pulisic wasn't happy because the referee had a nightmare throughout, and then obviously the goal that was given that they thought was offside. There's no, they were drawing lines and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but when you say something to the ref, saying you can party with the Uruguayan, do you really expect that he's going to shake your hand?
I think that's fair, isn't it? If you have a go at someone's professional, and then they're like,
what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you got a problem with that. Go on, Mario.
People getting upset about it, yeah.
Now Mario is with us.
No, you never. No. When something happen in the game, then I'm telling you, I'm taking them all the way till I get home, had a shower, I slept. When I wake up the next day, I might forget about it. But before that time, when I'm on the field, don't talk to me about it.
Don't have a go at the referee for not shaking his hands.
So is that slightly superseding the horrendous performance in the Copa America? Is it like almost like a smokescreen?
No, this was the Copa America.
Sorry?
This was the Copa America.
No, I know. That's what I meant.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, is this superseding all these peripheral things? Is it superseding the bad performance?
I don't think even clutching at those straws, you can't say it was the referee's fault last night because you didn't have a clear opportunity.
No.
You know, it's just life,
Dan,
isn't it?
Look. Dan, I understand. Look, as a ref, I think you are the neutral guy. You should shake hands. But I also say, me as a player, if something happens to me and another player, then I get a little bit moody. But as a ref, I think you have to be the bigger guy, because if anyone has to be the bigger guy on the field, it should be you.
If someone's questioning your integrity publicly, and questioning whether or not, in fact, you're showing bias to another side, and then you've got to just forget it and shake his hand? No, stuff you. I've got a little bit of pride.
No, I see what you say, but you know, in a moment when you are the ref also, I feel like you also have to, that player that comes to you, you also have to have that moment that he comes to you and wants to shake you and looks at you, and then I think, no, you got to be bigger than that. No, man, I'm bigger than that. Come on.
Now you are considering the ref as a robot, not a human being.
Yeah.
He has an ego. The guy, Pulisic, come, tease him, and he's okay, I'll shake hands, I don't care.
No,
no.
Do you remember, was it Jesse Marsh who was running around
but wait,
Guardiola trying to get him
wait.
to shake his hand? And then
Oh, that was the All-Star game.
Yeah. Go on, Mario.
What? Frank,
It's all right,
Frank,
we'll go.
you have
Do you know
never
what
shaken anybody's head when he had a go at you? Come on now. Come on
Me?
now.
Yeah.
Do you know one of the problems? I'm going to say this in all seriousness. Do you know one of the problems in this country around this sport? And I've said this from day dot when I arrived here over 10 years ago. Is there's too many people with too much hyperbole, right?
Hyperbole.
I call it hyperbole. There's too much.
English.
That's the way I see it. There is too much of that from analysts, journalists, broadcasters, and they continue to do it. And what it does is it builds up some false narrative and expectation.
Yeah.
That's a positive attitude.
And then it all falls flat in its pie most of the time, because the expectations get beyond reality. And I've said that from day dot coming here, and people say, you don't know, and you're just this. No, it's the truth. The decent players, the good players, but you have to look beyond where some of them are playing.
Yes.
And then you have to get in the real world of these experienced, gnarly countries with guys that have been over the coals, that know their job. That's the reality, and this is another big wake-up call for this 2026 World Cup in 2 years' time, about where the United States are in the current climate of their talent level. It's not a disaster, but it's not brilliant. It's middle of the road. And that's where they are. I've been saying that for a long, long time. But the trouble is, they're built up here, the best squad ever assembled, the greatest generation of US, the greatest this, the golden generation, all that, and people are like, people that don't watch week in, week out are like, oh, this is magnificent, we'll get this go along, and then they get there and they pay all this money and whatever they're watching on TV and they go, what?
Yeah.
Is that it? And it's all built up from people that I say should know better, but half of them don't know better because they're clueless.
Mario, do you see Arne slotting Gakpo to the left to replicate his orange form?
Oh, look, they know each other, and I mean, he has seen enough of him. So I don't see why he wouldn't do that. You understand? At least try him. You understand? That doesn't mean that like whoever is also available to play that position, he's gonna give him the opportunity straight away. No, it's not gonna happen like that. Even in Holland, they're talking about it. They say about Slot, be careful that you don't make a whole Dutch journey out of it, because then it's gonna be shaking. And Ten Hag was the best answer for you already. So I hope that Slot will take it slowly. Gakpo is there already, so maybe that's a different situation. But you still have to look at him. When he comes back to your team, see what kind of form he is in, look where he is, mentally, and also how he performs for your team. Does he do well? And similar to Holland? Yeah, then I play him.
Craig, should Southgate replace Foden in the next game?
I wouldn't... should he replace him? If I'm a manager, I'm thinking, how do I get the best out of him?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe more than why would I replace him? It's a bit of a Ronaldo scenario. You might have to do it during the game. But Bellingham had that great goal, and he scored in the first game. He had that great overhead kick that saved the bacon. But has he been better than Foden?
No.
Taking the goal out of the equation, which I suppose is quite difficult. I don't think he will. I don't think he should, but I think he needs to find a way. To be honest with you, if you give me the choice of dropping any player, I'd play Foden on the right and drop Saka.
Right.
That's what I wanted to go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sorry,
because
Frank.
I say, no, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I was trying to read your mind.
Give me an
I was
assist.
trying to read your mind.
Oh, yeah,
and then I looked in the head, and
There is nothing. If you ask the question for Foden, you have to ask the same question for Saka. Because they haven't been, in any influence whatsoever, and not maybe change Foden to the right side, but maybe put Saka out and put Palmer to start, because Palmer has proved every time he came on that he had an influence, and Saka, who are highly ranked, domestically with Arsenal, he has been absolutely fantastic. Hasn't proved during the Euro that he's been good enough. So maybe it's the time to change. But it's like the 20 minutes about America, United States. Gareth Southgate is not going to change anything.
Right.
So it's not even a question. He's going to keep on playing that team, not going to change anything half-time, and he's going to wait maybe for 70, 80 minutes to change something, maybe.
See, I wouldn't be against putting Foden on the right, leaving Saka out,
Gordon?
putting Gordon or Eze on the left, dropping Bellingham a little deeper to do both roles, the hybrid role, and playing Cole Palmer.
Right.
I wouldn't be, in fact, to me that would be quite exciting.
Yes, but he's not going to do that.
Because Foden's now back in his natural habitat,
Yeah.
cutting in on his left foot. But as Frank said,
Yeah.
I'll bet you any money. I mean, he could name the same side again.
Wait, apart from Gay, of course.
The question is it going to be Dunk
Yes.
or Konza?
But you're absolutely right. He's going to name the same side.
Yeah.
For Frank, as a friend of Zidane, what would it take for him to coach the US men's national team, giving him the state of Connecticut? The US is desperate.
Now, the thing is, I have doubts, That would be a nice challenge for Zidane to come over. And
He's got a brain.
I don't think a nice.
He's got a brain.
Well, no, because he's sometimes. Well, he coached Real Madrid, and where you have confirmed players with maturity and experience, and it's why I say it's maybe a nice challenge to.
He's just waiting for Deschamps to leave, yeah?
Yeah, that's what he wants.
There you go.
That's what he wants. That's the only way he's going to get something. I don't think he's going to get the US national team because, first, I don't think they can afford him. And he speaks a little bit of English, he told me.
He was having lessons when I was there. Yeah.
He's working on it.
Yeah, me too. I'm having some.
Yes, hyperbole.
Yeah.
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole. But,
Hyperbole.
but
Just shout it, and that makes it right.
I've always said it that way.
Oh, yes, but it's not.
if you wonder for Zidane, you can wonder for
So,
Guardiola and
want
some other coaches.
do you want
They're not gonna
vanity?
be interested. They're not going to be
Do
interested.
you want vanity today? So what comes in? So I'm showing Frank. We won't go into too much detail.
No,
I'm showing
no.
Frank a picture of my son's car. I said, look at that. So he then goes to me in a little bit. He goes, look at this. It's 24 years today
But I won the
that I won the Euros.
Yeah, Marcel Desailly sent me a picture that 24 years ago.
I saw that you showed me the same picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have, before you come in.
Oh, really? Just anyone.
It was almost. I tell you
It
what.
was at Dunkin' Donuts this morning. Look, 24 years.
I don't know what was
I won the
worse.
Euros.
I don't know what was worse. Frank talking about that before you come in,
Yeah.
and me having to sit through the first 24 minutes of that live show today, listening to them piping on.
But it's
about Greg Berhalter.
interesting that you mentioned the fact that the photos got you in the back when most photos have got you in the front. Because
Yeah,
that's what
because
you,
you
like
know,
to be, because you felt ashamed.
It
You didn't-
was my
wasn't
time.
ashamed.
It was my time where I show a little bit of humility.
No.
I played only one game, and I
would
said
get-
I'm going to stand at the back because. But the problem is that being at the back and being on the top, you only see me.
Right.
I can.
Well,
I managed
you only
to.
see yourself in every picture, Frank.
Well, on that one, you see.
Listen,
Hey,
Frank's got
Frank.
Frank's got a dictionary
Oh my
at home,
God.
and the word humility has been taken out of it.
I know.
No, I've got a big book called The Who's Who,
Yeah, who's who? Yes.
and I am in it, so that's why I bought it.
Yeah, of course.
In case I forget.
You do no. You got it. Look, guys. When you are among Frank, I have to tell you something. The man walked in one day in the dressing room with a hat on. He thought he was running the show that day. Walks in, he goes, Mario, you don't think it's cool? Because I think I look great. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, this guy is taking it all to another level.
Hey, what about your fellow compatriot, Mario, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank,
Oh,
came
my
out in an interview and said Frank would tell us every day and remind us every day that he won the World Cup.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
So when you win something
No, I
unexpected
don't think
from me, because I have to tell you, you know why I'm so happy about it? Because it was so unexpected. I never say that I'm Zizou or Zola or fantastic
You don't
player.
have to tell.
I always say I never had any gift, and it's a motivation speech that I make every time. If I became champion of the world, everybody can be a champion of the world.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank doesn't need to hear that every day,
come
does
on.
he?
Because he was upset because he couldn't take penalties. I was the penalty taker. When he signed for Chelsea, and there was one penalty, he came and get the ball, and Gustavo Poyet and Gianfranco Zola came to him and say, "Oh, sorry, that's Frank Leboeuf here." So it's why he's still upset.
And you know what he's doing now?
Yes.
know what he does?
Coach in England.
Really?
Yeah, it's on
You're
the
not
coaching
seeing him
I
on
love
the
Jimmy
touchline.
Floyd. I love the temper.
No wonder they can't score. Thank God I left Chelsea in '97. Thank God I left Chelsea in '97 because he was bad enough before he won the World Cup.
God, yeah, that was pre.
They opened the
my
door.
God.
They made the door bigger.
Well,
Frank used to come in every morning. Oh my God, everybody loved him. But it was like Frankie, please just
Shut
one day,
up.
shut up, shut up, Frank. Frankie, shut up. It's like,
You know what I mean?
nothing has
When
changed.
I have the feeling that people like me, I like to talk. It's true that I should have shut up.
Yeah.
Because they don't like me. They don't like me.
Oh, they love
nobody didn't like.
Oh, God.
Mario loved me.
Right.
Mario loved me.
Right then, thank you
No,
very
you're
much.
okay, Frank. I don't think you know. Frank
See, he
was
could
okay.
have
Yes, more hyperbole tomorrow.
It's